you so much. Wow, a sold-out Athenaeum. I've been doing comedy a long time, really, but I'll be honest, I don't very often get to play to sold-out Athenaea. I mean, theoretically, I should know what I'm doing, right? But I'm going to spend the next few minutes just trying not to look like a guy who secretly knows he is well out of his depth. I'm basically going to be Scott Morrison when someone hands him a graph. Treasurer, we've got the latest figures. Uh-huh. Yeah. Did I do that right? Did I say the right things? Other way around, Treasurer. Oh. Yes. Now I see it. So just remind me again, what does it mean when the economy resembles a sort of upside down apple? Means you're looking at the wrong side of the iPad, Treasurer. We've been through this before. Oh, how can you not be excited about Election Day? It's the first time that we get to vote with the new Senate voting system. Are you as excited as I am? No more just number one above the line or number all the numbers below the line, none of that anymore. You've got to number at least 6 above the line. You can number as many as you like above the line, but there's got to be at least 6. And then if you want to show off below the line, you can number, well, as many as you like, but got to be 12. At least 12. You can go all the way through to the end, or you can do half of them, but there's got to be at least 12 below the line, at least 6 above the line. And if you think that's going to take too much time, you can ask for a quick pick, or consider buying a share in a syndicate. And then on Saturday night, we'll gather around our television about 7:30, and they'll drop all the ping pong balls in the bowl, and John Deeks will pick the new Senate for us. It is a bit like a lottery, isn't it, the Senate? Bang, satire. Well, actually, it's not going to be like a lottery anymore. The way they've designed this system is to get rid of all the little minor parties that have been frustrating the government of this country. I mean, for the last 3 years, we've had these tiny little minor parties who hardly anyone voted for, and they've been blocking the legislative agenda of the Turnbull and before that the Credlin governments. Like Ricky Muir. Who voted for Ricky Muir? I don't think Ricky Muir voted for Ricky Muir, but somehow he got in there. And we said, who's Ricky Muir? And we found him on YouTube chucking kangaroo poo at his mates. And we said, oh, our new senator's a bit of an idiot. And then he did this serious interview with Mike Willesee. Like, it was just Mike Willesee. We weren't going to waste Lee Sales on him. But and he sat there and he was all sweaty and the lights made him feel all tense, and he was a bit wriggly and uncomfortable because he'd just bought a suit and he hadn't taken the tag off from some Vinnie's op shop. And Mike Willesee said, what's the balance of power? And Ricky couldn't answer it, even though he holds it. And he just sort of asked for a glass of water, and he coughed and stumbled, and then he threw kangaroo poo at Mike Willesee and ran off. And we said, oh, this guy is an idiot. And then he spent the rest of his senatorial career, get this, considering each piece of legislation on its merits, weighing up the arguments and the facts and figures, and then voting in accordance with whether he thought it would be a good idea for his constituents. Oh no, what an idiot! Weighing up the arguments, what a rookie error. And even more recently, he still continued to vote down a piece of government legislation, knowing it would lead to a double dissolution in which he would lose 3 years of employment that's paying him like $250,000 a year or something, knowing that they'd rigged the system so he wasn't going to get back in, and he still kept voting against it because principle. No, we cannot have the government of this country held to ransom by such a loose cannon. That's not true. I'm going to vote for Ricky. I think he's all right. I'm not even into cars. But I went to look up the party platform. You've got to be careful with the minor parties. Don't get blinded by the personalities. You've got to look up the policies. And I looked up the Australian Motoring Enthusiast policy, and it said on the website, we believe in defending the rights of the Australian family. And I went, oh, I know where this ends when it comes to Senate minor parties. And I kept reading, and it said, to restore or modify any car of their choice. Well, that did not end the way you all thought it was going to end, did it? Minor parties, I love them. We don't even get to vote for the anti-pedophile party. Some states they do. I mean, don't laugh. Before you do, just take a moment to consider how you feel and if you're comfortable about being the person who doesn't vote for the anti-pedophile party. So I'm looking forward to Saturday. Also mainly because I love watching nerds in action. I'm a nerd. I'm very proud of that. I love it when nerds tell us things because they know them. And it doesn't really happen. People don't listen to nerds anymore. Nerds say, here's stuff that we know. And people say, yeah, but that doesn't meet with what I feel. I'm going to vote with what I feel. And hashtag Brexit. But there is one nerd who still stands head and shoulders above the rest. Someone who still commands the respect of a nation. I'm talking, of course, about ABC election analyst Anthony Green. Now, yeah, my people are here. Oh, of course you're here. It's a Wheeler Centre gig. But if you don't know the name by the name alone, you'll recognise the face. When the ABC has election night on, they let him sit down the end at the little kids' table, and he's got his laptop out and he gets very excited. He's the guy going, oh, well, this is a much bigger swing than I expected in this particular seat, but it's not going to be enough to unseat the incumbent. I'm happy to call this seat for the coalition at this point. In fact, what's the time? Oh, 6:05. I'm going to call the entire government. I'm going to call the election coalition victory. Yes, Anthony Green first again. In your face, Laurie Oakes. In your face. Now let's turn to the potential makeup of the Senate. I love Anthony, but I only get to see him every couple of years. Like, what is he doing in between elections with this amazing knowledge? I'd like to think he's just making himself useful down the local bus stop. Hello, everyone. Yes, well, judging by the current timetable, the current state of traffic, and the previous history of punctuality of this particular bus route, I would predict that we'll probably see the bus around about 7:27. 7:27, everybody. In fact, I'll call that. I'm prepared to call that. Anthony Green, first again. I'm going to call that seat. The incumbent is a very large man with neo-Nazi tattoos. Not a very safe seat at all, I'm afraid. Hello. Oh. Wow. That was a much larger swing than I expected. That's all from me. Let's do this again next time. It's great fun. We'll see you soon.
Visit wheelercentre.com for the best in books, writing and ideas from Melbourne, Australia and the world.